Hey again, this is Ryan just coming back to you with another video on Marketplace Superheroes. In this episode, we'll just kind of look at the Facebook website, which I am now a member of. I was approved, if you will, or they approved my request to join this group, which is a closed group. And you can only join it by putting in the email address that you used to sign up for the system. So once you've signed up, you can come in here and get a lot of resources on answering questions particularly. So as I kind of look through the feed, you'll see people asking different questions, lots of good information. And one thing that I thought was cool was that the founders, Stephen and Robert themselves, will often post and answer questions. Like right here, somebody had a question about their account with World First, which I'm not sure what that is, but I'm assuming I'll find out at some point. And there was an answer there that Robert gave. So if you don't have your question particularly answered here, you can ask it. But first, before you ask your question, somebody else may have already asked it, so you can do a search. One thing I know we'll be doing is participating in the search phase of finding a product. So if I put in search phase, and see what questions people have been asking. I've been at the search phase for many weeks now, and so on and so forth. Anyway, so this is a great place to come to find answers to questions or to just get new information. There's lots of good stuff here. So without further ado, let's go in, and we are on module 1 here. We've already done the introduction and getting the most out of the system. So I'm going to go ahead and watch this next one, what this system is not. And if there's anything to discuss or mention there, then I'll go ahead and do that, but we'll pause it now so I can go ahead and watch the video. Okay, just finished that video. This just talked about what this system is not. So just a couple of quick things that I thought were key. It's not about creating a big business or brand. They want you to just find great products to sell. Not necessarily just push tons and tons of products until it's so unmanageable that you can't handle it. It's not about wasting your time or your capital. Obviously, that's appreciated. It's not about gaming the system, or in other words, they want to make sure that you're staying within your terms of use when it comes to Amazon and using Amazon correctly. So they want you to stay protected and use the system the way that it was intended to be used. They also don't want you just to be busy just for the sake of being busy. We want to work with a purpose, make sure that the efforts that we put into the system, we can get the most out of it. And finally, it's not just local. Hopefully you'll be able to build this and do selling on Amazon in multiple areas. So those are some of the things that this video talked about. And let's see what the next one is. Okay, just finished that one, which is called Why We Start with Amazon. It basically talks about why we use Amazon when we learn this system and decide to sell things online. Should be pretty obvious to most of us. I think most people, when they're looking for something online, they usually start with Amazon. So it makes a lot of sense that if you wanted to sell products to people, you would want to be on Amazon. So, but a couple of things that he mentioned that I thought were key. Amazon typically has better margins than maybe some of the other sites. Amazon has great customer service. You can also use Amazon's FBA service, so you can have your shipments fulfilled by Amazon. You can have them hold all of the inventory in their warehouses, and so you don't have to handle that. The general public is using Amazon, as I mentioned. That's where everybody goes, so you're going to want to be there. The customer expectations that we have as a society have grown quite a bit over the last several years. And so Amazon has molded itself to be able to meet those expectations in a very real way. And if you had to handle that on your own using some other system or program, then that could be a nightmare. So, and one thing that I really liked that he said, this is just an interesting statistic that he mentioned, was that e-commerce right now, so purchasing things online, really only accounts for about 10%, or maybe now a little more than that, of the total customer consumption when it comes to buying things. It's only 10%, but it's growing year over year. So what that means to me is it's not too late to get into this. It's still early, and Amazon seems to be obviously on the cutting edge of what's going on. And so it makes a lot of sense to try to sell things on Amazon if you're going to try to sell things. So, and there's a lot of room for growth out there. So that's good news. And then finally, he just talked about leveraging Amazon's platform. There's just a lot of great things there for Amazon users. And, you know, we want to be able to leverage those opportunities for ourselves. So that's what this video is mainly about. Obviously, there's a lot more in the videos than I'm mentioning. This particular one was 10 minutes long, but as I mentioned before, I can't share all the details. And so I hope nobody comes to my videos and sees them as a way to shortcut or find out the information in the videos without actually going through them, because you're going to be way off base if you do that. This is just to give you some of my thoughts on the different videos to kind of help you through the process as you go through it along with me. So definitely watch the videos for yourselves and don't skip things or try to take shortcuts, because you'll find yourself in a situation, I'm sure, that will not be desirable. So anyway, let's see what the next video is. Okay, I've just finished that video called Your Superhero Strategies. And as the name implies, it just talks about what strategy and what the process is going to be of going through and finding products to sell on Amazon. And some of this was talked about in the introductory video that they do before you sign up. So they talk about things like the rule of 5, which, as you may recall from that introductory video, of having 5 products that you sell 5 of each day and in 5 different markets. And obviously there's a lot of profit that can be gained by doing that and just having those 5 products. So they talked about that and the importance of doing that. And they talked about using or finding the best products, and that's an acronym, BEST. I won't go into the different specifics on what best means, but they kind of walk you through finding the best products. And then, of course, using the 4S product gauntlet, which you can see I have a tab for up here. There's nothing in mine right now because I haven't searched for items yet. But that's the tool that you use to actually put your items in there, and it does some analysis for you as far as I understand it. So that's kind of part of the strategies. We'll kind of go through and use that 4S system or gauntlet that they have put together in that software. One thing that I really do like about this whole system, and I know I've mentioned a lot of things that I like about it, but one in particular is that they've been doing this, Stephen and Robert, for 20 to 25 years. I can't remember what they said, but they've been doing it for a lot of years. They've had a lot of trial and error. They've been through it all. They've tried lots of different things, and this is what they feel is the best way to go about it. And they're willing to share that, obviously, for a price, which I think is fair. And so hopefully if we go through that process, we won't have to have some of those errors in that trial and error process so that we can be successful. So that's what I'm looking forward to. I think that'll wrap it up for this particular video. We've gone through several different videos and talked about them a little bit. So let me know your thoughts and comments down below. And I'd love to hear what questions you might have at this point in the stage. I obviously don't know a lot yet, and I'm hoping to learn more, and I'll continue to review these videos and give you my thoughts and feedback and ask questions, and you can ask questions and we'll just learn together. So thanks. And until next time, happy hunting.